Hello again, 10th grade students. I would like to take this opportunity in this video to explain to you the assignments and everything involved in Google Classroom. It's my understanding that you are familiar with Google Classroom because you used it last semester. However, I have some helpful tips posted in some of the assignment tabs, mainly under week 1, regarding how to submit an assignment in Google Classroom, and I will post other helpful tips in that same tab under week 1 if you need a little additional help in how to maneuver and post your assignments in Google Classroom. I would like to start with saying that in Google Classroom, in just across the board, as a whole 10th grade group, no one will be submitting hard copy assignments. Everyone is going to be submitting their work online via Google Classroom. We are going to use the format of Google Slides and Google Docs as you submit your assignments. Nothing will be turned in as a hard copy. I am also going to add you to the correct Google Classroom today. So I will go in and add you as a class member to the Google Classroom in which you are enrolled. For example, if you are in 3rd period English 10, then I will add you to 3 English 10 Google Classroom. Then you should be able, once I add you to the particular classroom in which you are assigned, once I add you, you should then be able to go in and open that Google Classroom and get started. So I'm just going to open, as of right now, all of the English 10s are on the same schedule and the same level. Today is the first day that we have begun working in our Google Classroom, so you are not behind, you are right on track. So I am going to open a Google Classroom, and it may or may not be your particular Google Classroom because I'm only making one video, but it will all be the same. So I'm going to explain to you what we are doing today. And I will just open Google Classroom 3 and I will show you. Okay, so once you open the classroom, this is what your page will look like. And right here, I have posted for you the tool on how to submit assignments via Google Classroom. And you can just click on that link, and there's a short video that shows you and explains to you how to submit your assignments if you're not sure. I also have posted this announcement with Google Meet expectations. I'm going to go ahead and open that and go over that with you. And this is going to be relevant when we are in our Google Meet sessions. And as I said, I will get those scheduled next week, and I will send you, once I get that scheduled, I will schedule it later this week. And once I get it scheduled and have it set up, it will be set up for next week. And I will send you a memo letting you know of what time you need to join into that Google Meet session. These are my expectations that I have for you when you log in to your Google Meet session. I expect you to be on time. Even if we are not completely logged in at that point on this end, you need to go ahead and log in and just patiently wait. Sometimes I will be doing this from my classroom, and sometimes someone comes in and they want a signature, or they need to tell me something or give me something. And if that's the case, I may be a little, like a minute or two late finalizing my login. That will be a rarity. However, just be patient and be understanding that I am still at school, and things do happen to come up at the last minute in my classroom. So when I am ready to log in, if you are already there or you get there a little bit early, please just wait and I will be there very soon. So once you log in, please be on time, and I want you to keep your video camera turned on. I want to see your face. I want to make sure that you're here with us. If you do not have your camera turned on, I will mark you absent from that Google Meet session, which means you will be absent from class. So I want you to have your camera turned on. I want you to have your microphone muted. And the reason is when more than one microphone is on at a time, there's a lot of background noise and it muffles what a person is saying. So if you will just please make sure that your microphone is muted. And then if you have a question at any given point when we are discussing something, if you'll just raise your hand, I will acknowledge you and ask you to please turn on your mic. And I will turn mine off at that point so that there will not be all this background noise. In the case that 2 or 3 students online raise their hand, we will do this one at a time, because more than one mic on at a time makes a lot of background noise and it's hard to hear. Please check your internet before it's time to log in and make sure that you are connected and everything is good to go on your end. If your internet glitches out, you may have to log out and then log right back in. And I understand if you have to do that. We will continue on with the session because I will have several students online at this time. So I will keep going and you just log back in as quickly as you can. And I understand internet glitches. Believe me, I understand that. I expect you to be participating when you log into a Google Meet session. You will be participating with the entire class that is in here at that time, and with all of the students that are online. And as we are discussing different topics and different literature pieces, I think you will have some very good insight, and I would love to hear it. So I do expect you to participate. I also expect you to be taking notes as we are discussing. And you will want to be keeping up with that in your binder notebook. And I'll talk to you more about that in just a little bit. I ask you to please don't give up. I know there's going to be times, especially working from home, when all kinds of things can happen from internet to dogs barking and other interruptions. Please don't give up. Don't become frustrated. Always try to do your best. Give me 100%, and I promise on my end, if you have any questions about anything that we're doing, shoot me an email. If we're in a Google Meet, ask me a question then. If we're not in Google Meet, please send me an email. When you send me an email, please make sure that you speak properly, grammatically correct, and make sure that you tell me your first and last name, and that you tell me which class period you are in. That will help me to know precisely how best to answer your question. Okay? If you do not give me all of that information, I may write back and say, please give me this information, and then I can address your question. So it's better to go ahead and do that up front so that I will know with whom I'm talking and trying to help, okay? When you're working from home, it can be difficult because, as I said, I have 2 dogs at home, and last semester when we were sent home from our offices, I was conducting lots of meetings via Google Meet, and and I was trying to get lots of things done on my computer, and I have 2 dogs that just thrive for my attention, and I completely understand how it can sometimes distractions can pop up for you. So I had to have conversations with my dogs about be quiet, and then finally I just put them outside to play for a bit while I was working. So I completely get that. But when you're working from home, please try to find a really quiet place where you will have the least amount of distractions going on so that you can get your work accomplished. When you are in Google Meet, I do expect you to demonstrate respectfulness. As a Southern lady and gentleman, that's something that we have been talking about in this class. As I was making the introductions and introducing to them, the theme of this class is Southern ladies and gentlemen, which means our number one priority is to have complete respect for each other in this class, as well as others that are around us. So I expect you to demonstrate complete respect for me as your instructor and for all of your classmates as we meet online. Another thing and a final thing that I want you to be aware of and be attentive to when you are in a Google Meet session, please focus on me. Please look at me and please pay attention. That's the key factor. I want you paying attention. And again, this goes back to being distracted, things happening. Please do not be on your phone during our Google Meet sessions. If someone calls you, either ignore the call, or if it's an emergency phone call, you may take that emergency phone call, but only if it's a dire emergency, because we have very limited time as we do these Google Meet sessions, and I want to give you as much information to help you be successful as I possibly can. So please keep your focus on me, and please do not be on your phone. Okay, I want to move to the setup for this class. I will want you to always go into class work. Now, under Stream, you might find a couple of additional tools, and please pay attention to those. When I post those extra tools, I'll always make an announcement about those tools right here. But in order to get to your class work, you'll need to log into class work. And you will see right here we have week 1 and the information posted in week 1. And I've also posted that Google Meet expectations document. So I am going to be dropping things in week 1, which means I'm also dropping this welcome video to you and this explanation video to you regarding Google Classrooms. I'm dropping it in under week 1. So week 1 is going to be an informational packet. This will be here all year long. Even though it's labeled week 1, there are certain things that you need to know right up front at the very beginning of the school session. And periodically throughout this semester, I will also post additional resource tools, additional things that might help you maneuver through the Google Classroom or otherwise. So under week 1, you will find some of those tools. Okay, so now I want to go to the magazine project, and you heard me mention this in my introduction video, that all year long, not only is our theme as a whole entire class going to be Southern ladies and gentlemen, but the project that is going to be a year-long project is our magazine project. I will explain more about the magazine project to you in just a few minutes, but for right now, I want you to see that in the magazine project, this is where you will go to complete this assignment. You will have 2 assignments in the magazine project that are due this Saturday. So in this assignment, you will go to magazine project and you will open the Google slide. Now, I have opened this and set this up for you. If you try to do this outside of this slide that I have opened for you, it will not allow you to submit it, and I will not accept it. So you will have to work with the slide that I have posted. Now, some of the students, and I personally, if you'll notice, I have 2 slides set up for you. Now, you can do this. Your first slide that I will talk to you about in just a moment, your first slide, you probably do not want it to look like this with this title slot and the subtitle. You may want to start with a blank slide, and that's perfectly fine. I did when I did my first, I did a first example slide for you. And when I did mine, I wanted to start with a blank slide. It was easier for what I was doing and for what you will be doing. So if that's the case, just merely go over here and open another slide, and then you can come back and delete this one and get it out of there. But your first 2 assignments are connected this week, are connected to the magazine project, and you will open magazine project, and you will open your Google slide, and you will put your work on slide 1 and slide 2. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, please feel free to send me an email, but I'm going to go ahead and elaborate in just a moment. I just want to make sure that you understand where to find this submission tab for your assignment magazine project. Okay, now let me X out of this, and I'm having difficulty. Okay, I will have to X out right there. Okay, thank you for your patience. And I am going to click back on this. Okay, now the explanations for your assignments will always be found under lesson plans. So you will have a lesson plan. So you will open lesson plans, and from lesson plans I will give you instructions and information, and then you will go to the title of that lesson plan assignment, such as magazine project, and you will open that tab to work on your assignment and do your submission there. So as I said, our first assignment and only assignment for this week is the magazine project. So in lesson plans, where you will find all of your instructions and information, if you will open that tab, you will see my Google slides, and this is where I have posted some information about this. And this is labeled week 1, day 1. Now, day 1 technically for us here on campus was just getting acclimated to being back in school and being in this classroom setting and so on and so forth. So this is actually day 1 of our assignments in this class. So let's get into it. Welcome to Southern, ladies and gentlemen, and I am your instructor, Mrs. Toon. And this is what we will do on a normal, typical basis in this classroom. We are adding these things in slowly, so I will not begin adding some of these until next week, but I will make a presentation slideshow as well as a verbal lecture informational video for you to have understanding, and I will let you know for sure when it is time to move into these things. But once we get past next week, this is how we will be structured in this 10th grade English class. we will have a quote of, well, originally it was going to be a quote of the day, but I have decided to pull back this first 9 weeks and only do a quote of the week. So we will only have one quote per week, but you will have 4 different assignments connected to that one quote each week. And that will be the first thing that you will do. And all 4 of those assignments will always be due on Saturday. In fact, let me go ahead and say that now. When I set up your assignments, I work on them over the weekend, and I get them published as soon as I get through working on them, but they will always definitely be ready to go Monday morning. So your assignments will open on Monday morning, and all of the instructions and everything, and they will always be due by Saturday before 6 o'clock p.m. Now, do not wait until 6 o'clock to try to submit your assignment, because the tab actually closes at 5:59. So if you miss your submission time, you've missed that assignment, and that is a 0. There are other assignments that will be assigned on Monday, and perhaps they would be due on Tuesday. Those assignments will be very small and minute, and sometimes they would be something such as, we're going to write an essay, and I'm going to give you a selection of topic choices, and I need you to pick that choice. I share that with you on Monday, and I need you to submit back to me by Tuesday your topic choice, so that if we meet again on Wednesday, I can start working with you on that topic, and I can make sure, I need to approve that topic before you get started working on it. Because if you pick a topic that is not going to work for whatever reason, and you start working on it, you've put a lot of work into it, and then if I come along and say, no, I'm sorry, that will not work, you've wasted a lot of time and effort. So sometimes I will make assignments such as that there's no way around it. You just have one day to get that done, but it's always a very small, short, little assignment as such. So your basic main assignments are always due by Saturday. We will have an agenda posted every week that will tell you the things that we are covering and the things that must be completed, and it will be a snapshot just like this, and it will have 1, 2, 3, and then I will have those assignment tabs set up and ready to go for you to go in and start working on them. Every week we are going to have a vocab list. We are going to add to it each week, and the vocabulary words are going to come from the literature pieces that we are studying, and they are going to come from the literary devices and elements that we are using along with the lit pieces that we are studying. Those lit devices could be something like a simile, a metaphor, an oxymoron. There are various, a juxtaposition. There are various lit devices that we are going to need to use as we analyze material and we begin writing our essays. So those will be added to your vocabulary list. Every week you will get at least 5 new vocabulary words. We will add to these each week your vocabulary list. This will run through the course of the 9 weeks. At the end of the 9 weeks, you're going to have a big unit vocabulary exam, and periodically throughout the course of the course of the 9 weeks, I may pop an additional quiz on you regarding your vocabulary list that we've had up to this point. So I am putting you on the honor system, and I am expecting you to be an honorable student with great integrity when you take these quizzes and exams. grammar check. We're going to be working and learning the parts of speech. We're going to be working with mechanics. We're also going to be working on our syntax, which is sentence structure. We're going to be working on our diction, our word choice, and we're going to be working in how to write well using all of these elements. I will be giving you notes on the elements of rules of writing, and I will be expecting you to understand that and apply that not only in sentences that I give you to look at it and tell me if this is correct, and if it's not, to correct it, or you will be implementing that also in your writing, your essay writing. So we are going to definitely be hammering grammar, syntax, diction, and mechanics this year. Writing, you're going to be taking writing notes over the essays that I'm assigning. I will tell you, we will start specifically with how to write a well-developed introduction. We're going to be writing, first to start with, we're going to be writing in pieces. For example, your first writing assignment is just going to be a one-paragraph assignment, and I will give you some notes on how to develop that paragraph, and we'll talk about that, and that will go in the writing section of your binder. You will have a lit notes section of your binder, and that's where, if we're having a discussion and I've got you popped into a Google Meet session so that you can discuss with us and you can give us your insight into that literature piece. You will then take notes based on what we are discussing related to that literature piece. And there will be a section for essays, and that's where you will begin jotting down you're sketching out an essay when it is assigned to you, and then you will put that in the form of a Google Docs and you will type it up and submit it. But you will have to keep this hard copy for your binder so that you can have those tabs set. And I will give you, I told the students I'm not giving those tabs to them until next week, because we're taking this very slowly and we're just doing one step at a time. So don't feel overwhelmed and don't feel like you are behind, because I haven't given them their tab sets yet, tab sections yet. Okay, so the next slide, I will add you to the Google Classroom. You can only log in with your Google School account, and I have access to watch you when you're in the Google Classroom. So I can see everything that's on your screen and everything that you're doing when you're in the Google Classroom. So I just want you to have a heads up and be aware of that. I will be watching you as you're working in Google Classroom. Okay, once I enter you into that Google Classroom, you should get a pop-up email, and then you should be able to log right into that. And please be patient with me. I will get to that later this afternoon, okay? Now we're going to have some fun with the first assignment that I have made for you. The first thing we're talking about is an acrostic poem. And this is off-center, and I have to fix it. That bothers me, to be off-center. Okay, that's better. The first thing we're going to talk about is an acrostic poem. An acrostic poem is just merely you write a word down vertically and then horizontally going across from each letter of that word. You can write another word that begins with that letter or a very short phrase, and when you finish, you have an acrostic poem. The example here is cats. The word is cats, and the acrostic poem is cuddly, acrobatic, tenacious, softly purring. Okay, this is in the form of a poem, and if you will notice, we're using cats, and all of the words written in the acrostic poem describe a cat. So acrostic poem can be a description of the person, place, or thing that you are making the acrostic poem about, or it can be, it will be a description of, or it can be telling a short story even. Now today we're not getting into short storytelling with acrostic poem. We're just merely doing the basics of an acrostic poem. So let's move. This is another example that, again, this slide is messed up. I'm going to fix it. I did that earlier this morning when I was working with a group of students. This is another example, or two more examples of an acrostic poem. This picture happens to be a picture of me and my best friend who lives in Wyoming, and we were there in the summer, and she and I were playing in the snow, and my husband said, "Hey, turn around, I want to get a picture of you two." So it's really sad. I love the snow, but it's really sad because I have to go to Wyoming in the summer to get to play in the snow. But she is my friend, and this is an acrostic poem about friend. Funny, real, interesting, enjoyable, nice, and delightful. And those are all of the things that I can say about my relationship with my friend who lives in Wyoming. A lot of times we do have some really funny incidences that occur, but our friendship is definitely real. It's interesting at times, but it's also very enjoyable. It is nice to have such a sweet friend, and I just find time that I spend with her very, very delightful. Okay, the next acrostic poem that I have chosen is about a person, and this person's name is Vicky. So these are the things that I can use. These are the words that I chose, the diction I chose that will describe Vicky. She is vivacious, intelligent, crafty, kind, and interesting. Okay, again, this one is off kilter. Okay, so I want to explain to you what this slide is. Now, I want you to hang on to the idea of what is an acrostic poem. Now I want to explain to you what this page is. Let me recenter it really fast. Okay, I told you about the magazine project. The first assignment on the Google slide, the first Google slide under magazine project is the cover page of your magazine. So you're going to have to come up with a creative title for your magazine and then slide in some photos that would depict something about you and your personality or your hobbies that you enjoy, and it's something that is related and connected totally to you. Now, this is your magazine, and you're going to begin working on it today or tomorrow, and you're going to continue working on this entire magazine throughout the course of this whole school year. The first 2 pages are due Saturday before 6 o'clock, and I want you to keep in line with the class theme as you come up with the title of your magazine. Now, I chose True Southern Lady as the title of my magazine. And the pictures here depict, I've got my dining room table. It's set, and a true Southern lady is going to set her dining room table appropriately when she has a dinner party. I've also placed some pictures of actual tea parties because that is something that I thoroughly enjoy doing, hosting, having, and attending our tea parties. And the middle picture, the center picture, is my little granddaughter She's now 2 years old. At the time of this picture, she was 1.5 years. And at this time, I actually took her and her mother, my daughter, to Memphis to the Chez Philippe, in Memphis at the Peabody for an official formal tea party. We all three dressed up and went and had a tea party. And the picture up here in the top left corner is an actual picture taken at Chez Philippe at the tea party that we attended, the three of us. In the far right corner is a picture of me and my other daughter, and this was actually taken at a bridal tea party that was given for her when she was getting married. And then the bottom picture is another snapshot of a tea party where a tea party has been set. Okay, so these are things that depict me and my personality. I would like for you to come up with something about you that would depict your personality as you come up with a title for your magazine. Some of the students, one of the young ladies, she loves artwork and she loves doing artwork and sketching artwork. So she is coming up with a creative title about Southern ladies' art. The arts or something similar to that is what her title is going to be. I had a couple of gentlemen who came up with a topic of, one of them loves football and he is trying to come up with some kind of title about gentlemen playing sports, Southern gentlemen playing sports, or gentlemen in the South playing sports. Another one loves four-wheeling. He's coming up with something connected to that. So you definitely want to make the title of your magazine something that is connected to you and your personality. And then you can pop into your slide photos, or you can find graphics, pictures elsewhere and slide those in. Or if you are into artwork, you can sketch out your own creative artwork and take pictures of that and then upload it into your slide for your cover of your magazine. Please let me know if you have any questions about that. Now, the second slide of your magazine project for this week is going to be an acrostic poem about yourself. So this is my slide about myself.
Pardon the interruption. I need the following students to come to the office.
One moment,
Kate
please.
White, Audrey Brinscombe, Madison Ferris, Emma Riggs, Isabel Smith, Cassidy Boyette, Skyla Davis, Micah Marotti, Caroline Kelly, Lauren Wilson, Cadence Morrison, Isabel Bloom, Ellie Hewlin, Danny Duggar, Madison Page, and Jonathan Morgan. Please come to the office. Thank you.
I bet you feel like you're right here in the classroom with us, announcements and all. Okay, very quickly, slide 2 of your magazine project is about you. So I've posted at the top, Instructor Tune. Okay, so this is a slide about me. Now the word going down that I spelled out is dogs. I have 2 dogs and I love my dogs very much. So my acrostic poem spells out the word dogs, but they are also descriptive of me and my character. Dainty, obedient, gracious, and sophisticated. And they kind of also are descriptive of my 2 dogs, especially this one right here, Miley. She's a little black Pomeranian and she's a diva. This one, she's a diva too. She's all of the above as well. This is your second slide. So I'm going to do a quick recap. You will create a cover page for your magazine, and you are going to create an acrostic poem on your second slide. You must come up with a creative title for your magazine. And remember, You can do this. You can do this. Send me an email if you have any questions. One more snapshot. Take one more look. Slide 1 is my cover page of my magazine, and slide 2 is the first page of my acrostic poem. Cover of my magazine, acrostic poem. That's all you have to do this week, and both of those slides are due as one assignment on Saturday. They are due by Saturday. If you finish it before Saturday, yes, please, absolutely submit it. But these are your assignments. So, this is a quick review of what you've learned. That our group is called Southern Ladies and Gentlemen. Our focus is to develop our future story as we create a magazine all year long. And our daily work will consist of the following: the quote of the day, change that right now to the quote of the week. The agenda is what we will cover and complete each day and each week in our class. The vocabulary list of words, the grammar check, the parts of speech and mechanics, and then the note taking. We will do note taking on a regular, consistent basis, or you will be working on writing an essay. Okay, so have a great day, have a great week, and get your work in. Send me an email if you have any questions, and definitely enjoy your weekend. And I will visit with you again very soon.